The Opinion with Michael J. Today we've got a great breaking news. Breaking news from The Opinion. Okay, here's what we're going to talk about. Conspiracy within the Russian peace talks with Ukraine. And what do I mean by that? This is where nobody else is covering in news media around the world. This is exclusive to The Opinion here at the Whig Tory. And what do I mean by that? We've got Russian, USA, corruption involved with the peace talks. And you say, how is that possible? This is how it's possible. It's possible because of Putin and Donald Trump. This is where the conspiracy to defraud the Russian people, the American people, and the rest of the world is coming into play right now. That is correct. Russia and the USA, because of Putin and Donald Trump, are corrupt because they're bedfellows, been bedfellows for a couple decades, and they're committing fraud upon the Russian people, upon the American people, and everybody else that they place tariffs upon. And you're going to say, how is that possible? Well, number one, I know back in the 1990s, the person that placed Donald Trump into a position, and this happened in Panama at that time. Everything was going on mostly Panama, plus, other developments, the steel magnet developing the Trump Tower in Toronto also. All those deals between Panama and Toronto went by the wayside. But the Panama Papers were a result of this corruption. And that further caused problems in the United Kingdom. David Cameron had to resign. And then you had the Pandora Papers in Canada. This is what's happened. So the thing is, the Russian-Ukraine talks are tainted. There is corruption now, going on now, between Putin and Donald Trump. And I'll explain. We're going to go to the main screen. We're bringing up the CBC because it's one of the few media outlets that is not tainted by the influence of Putin and Trump, because all the media outlets, for the most part, mainstream media in the United States, is corrupt now. You cannot get the news in the way it should have been or had been done back in the early 1960s. It's all changed, folks. You got too much corruption in the United States, similar to a third world country, similar to the playbook that was put in place by Orban in Hungary. That's why I went down to Mar-a-Lago a couple times this past summer. And similar to the playbook that's been passed on from Putin to Donald Trump.
Canadian Defense Minister Bill Blair is still in Brussels this morning for a key NATO meeting. U.S. President Trump's demands in terms of defense spending will be a key part of those talks. But it's his surprise announcement about ceasefire talks in Russia's war on Ukraine that's now the top issue. And Trump isn't saying directly that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will have a role in peace.
So how do you have peace talks between Russia and Ukraine negotiated strictly by the United States of America with Trump and Putin, and without the participation of the Ukrainian President Zelensky? This is what they're doing. This is a pox in the world. These guys, Putin and Trump, are a pox on the rest of the world. They've been working together. They are corrupt.
Peace negotiations.
You view Ukraine as an equal member of this peace process.
So the reporter says, do you view Ukraine as an equal member of the peace process? Watch what Trump says. He can't answer a straight answer right away. He's got to think about this. That's tough for an illiterate.
It's an interesting question. I think they have to make peace. Their people are being killed, and I think they have to make peace. I said that was not a good war to go in.
See, now he got angry because now people are going to ask more probing questions. He's got to push back. He's got to be angry. And here's the deal. Just like Gaza with Bibi Netanyahu, with Israel. You got to understand, since 1947, Zionist Jew has been creeping upon the Palestinians in the Gaza since the incorporation or inception of the handover of British Palestine to allow a Jewish state after 1947. It was Weizmann, and I believe the other guy was Sokolov, a Polish Jew as well. So what Hamas did in Israel was a bad thing. No doubt about it. But the thing is, the Israeli response to that was not measured. They went way overboard, totally devastated the land. And then this guy Trump thinks the U.S. can just take over the land like that. This is where you're at. This is where the Russian-Ukrainian conflict, Zelensky never said to Russia, come invade me. Russia created the problem and decided to go at war and created a solution made in Russia, Putin's solution to why the war was necessary. There was no conflict between Zelensky and Russia other than the one that was manifested by Putin. And Trump and Putin have been working together for many decades. And I'll tell you where the collusion comes into play. The collusion will come into play when you understand what's been going on with all the money laundering in Panama, which goes back to the 1990s. And Paul Manafort, and this is the key thing that you have to understand. Paul Manafort. And we're going to go back to, I'm going to show you a time video with a timeline of the Mueller investigation with Paul Manafort. Paul Manafort, I believe, ended up being pardoned by Trump as well. Okay, so you see a lot of RNC podium appearances by Paul Manafort. And what you have to understand, before Zelensky was in power as the president of Ukraine, they had a Russian proxy in place. The Russian proxy was put there by Putin. And the American liaison for that was this guy, Paul Manafort. And this is where the Mueller investigation found traces of the money being paid from Russia to Manafort, Manafort laundering it into, I believe it was Cyprus. They were using, Cyprus was a well-known place for money laundering. So Paul Manafort was the campaign manager. I'm going to repeat this. Paul Manafort was the campaign manager for the campaign for Trump 1.0. So the Russian hoax was not a hoax. The Russian conspiracy, the Russian corruption with the United States of America now and with Donald Trump is real and in cause and effect right now, as of February 13th, 2025. So there you go. So there you go, folks. So now, this is why you've got a problem in the United States of America. And this is where everybody, every talking head around the world is trying to say, oh, this is the way Ukraine's going to go. This is the way Trump. The thing is, nobody is coming from the position that I'm presenting to you now. Putin and Trump have been corrupt, working together for a few decades, are working together in real time now. Elon Musk with Trump and Putin have been plotting since the summer of 2024 on a regular basis. This is why Trump kept secret documents, government documents, highly confidential documents at Mar-a-Lago. No other president has gone out of the way like Trump did. And you're letting him get away with it. It's criminal. And now he and Putin are going to dictate the terms for Ukraine and Russia. Conspiracy, the corruption's been there for a while now. Donald Trump in 2024 manipulated the GOP, Congress and House of Representatives, to make sure they withheld funds for Ukraine to give Russia an advantage. And you've just been watching this going on right before your eyes. You see it now. This guy, Trump, is going to negotiate a peace deal, just like he did with Bibi Netanyahu in Israel. And no deal that he makes is worth the paper it's written on, because he will change that so that he, Putin, and whoever else they're working with can benefit at the expense of the Russian people, the American people, and now the rest of the people of the rest of the world. It's criminal. You allow this. Do not allow this. Stop this now. Just saying, folks. Sending love and peace to everyone. Please comment in the comments section. It's a bright sunny day, so I didn't pull the blinds down. You're getting it raw, unedited, and you're getting the truth. Can you take the truth? Can you handle the truth? Understand that if you're a little anxious, personally, none of this stuff phases me. I've seen things that you haven't seen. I'm familiar with the way they operate, Putin, Manafort, and how they work their proxies around the world. I've seen how it's done, how they commit financial hardship in order to determine the outcome for their benefit, and I've seen it all too often. The signs have been there for a while, folks. You got to wake up, America. This guy Trump is no good. Yeah, actually, he's got a good thing going for him. And you know what the good thing's going for him? the fact that he's showing you what not to do. If you care about yourself, your neighbor, and everybody else, he is showing you how not to treat other people. Don't get caught up in that the same way that the German people did in 1933. You've been warned. It's up to you. I don't care what happens. I'm not part of this nonsense. I'm not part of this corruption. I've been hurt by this corruption. It's cost me $40 to $50 million. I understand how they operate. Trust me on that. But I look at things a little differently, or bigly differently. And I don't have fear. Simple as that. So, love and peace to everybody. Take care. Talk to you all soon. And when it gets out of control and you're not sure what to do, just sleep on things my two little buddies do here. Take care, folks.